Hello, beautiful friends all over the world. I'm back on my YouTube live channel, and it's really become so difficult, to actually commit something and keep it going every day, consistently. Not every day I'd say, but consistency. That is what it matters a lot. And it's really difficult. Suddenly I realized that 3 4 days have gone by and I'm not connected on the YouTube. So I'm just learning this process of getting into YouTubing, and it's really, I can say you guys, it's difficult, to keep that level. And suddenly I realized, okay, let me do it in this sunny morning, a wintry day. So love you all from all over the world. This is the year of 2022, and I was just thinking of just 1 or 2 days back, what has been the very much difficulty, from an upbringing where it was always a one track mindset, all one track thought process, which has been inculcated from the day of birth of 3 years and age, and after that into schooling, college, where I've been always made to think as an employee, and made to think that I have to work hard for to earn money, to earn my livelihood, to fulfill my desires. And that is a thought process everybody in my society, in my surrounding, has been always been trained to, and that is what I have grown up. And I was always in a thought process of that it is all mine, mine, mine. I don't want to give or share with others anything. And I was always kind of very selfish, and yeah, not does and I'm very being very honest and blunt. And that selfishness was always there, that whatever I can get for me, and whatever, like a limelight even I wanted to get for myself in school or even in the college, that, and always I used to somewhere miss that limelight, and I was get very angry inside that why I'm not getting that limelight or that presence in front some other friends or other people are getting. So I was always within me, talking about myself, and going ahead for my desires and wanting only whatever I need, and not looking into others feelings. And that is what the mindset of most of the people, like us in the middle class society, is born into. And this kind of a one track thought process, and that is how it is every day and every down the level of that thought process being inculcated, as a brainwashing. I now realize that yes, I have to be within myself, I have to work for myself, I have to get my own food, I have to get my own shelter, and that is how the growing up conditioning happened in my mind. And and the first time when I heard a very small story, of somebody telling about an elephant which is, you will be knowing, from the jungle, who's brought into the zoo. And that small little baby elephant was trying to actually get out of the clutches of this people, or that zoo, but he's been tied up with ropes and all these things and is not able to get out. And slowly a day passes, another day passes, and he tries and he tries, but couldn't get out. And one day the elephant becomes a giant one with tons of weight. And that time he's not actually tied up with any rope or anything, just maybe one chain. And somebody asked me that, do you think that elephant cannot break the chain and go out of the zoo? I said, why not? It's very much possible, but why doesn't it go? And that made me think, why does that elephant doesn't run out of there? Because somewhere that brain has been conditioned for so many years of its upbringing, that it is actually meant to be here in the zoo, and that is its home. Because its futile effort to go out to his mother, the parents, in this jungle has not served him. So he has made that conditioning, and after being a giant elephant also, that mental conditioning has that is the only home. And then when I been correlated with myself as in the journey of life, that yes, I have kept my own tight conditioning and the mindset of schooling and the colleging, that where I have been always told that I'm the only person who can work hard to earn money. I'm the only person who can only do things for me and think about myself, and nobody else, or maximum to my family or parents that much, but none the other, people who are outside my immediate family. And to break that conditioning, to go out of it, that's a very, very difficult task. And needless to say, first time, when I had to, I thought of, because of my sudden job, crisis happening after 15 years of a good job life, satisfied job life, and then suddenly, parents getting very sick, and I'm not able to help them that much financially. That was a time when my, just the switch broke. Suddenly I felt that, what is it? Is that my life? That I can only do this much and work so hard, but I have nothing to contribute to even my immediate family, which has given me so much, so much of love, so much of hard work. For through them, I have grown up. And after that, even the vulnerability, the vulnerability and the insecurity inside, that when what will happen, and what will, and whether I can withstand that. So much fear inside me had been there, that that fear always used to, actually get me stuck in whatever I wanted to take something out, because that fear of losing out, that fear of, not having that job, or not having something, not having the financial, status, has always kept me, like as if I'm a little person there, and always I'm struggling to get out of that chain, of thought process, and that the binding of the mind, that, I'm not able to explore myself. And this was the first time when actually the situations made me realize that no, no more. And that is when, that's the first step which gets a big difficulty, and somebody really, in my one of the mentors, he once told me, that there is this 97 people out of the 100 who are, cluttering in a small space of 2 by 2, and there is this big space of 100 by 100 where only 3 people are just, you know flowing around, playing around, not nobody's there. And from that small clutter, to even give that idea, of doing something different, is so difficult. It's so much, agony. And that gravity is so huge there, it pulls back, to even to think and to break out of that, and it pulls back. And that is where, I felt that, no, this is the time, this is the moment, which God must have given me, and blessed me with, that I need to think differently, do something different of my life. So that this entire chain of things, which has happened from my birth, can actually be reversed, or not reversed itself, can be changed. Now, this word change, when it came first time to me, thought, okay, I know I have heard this word in English and all this, but what is change? But this change is a very big term. It is not easy, guys. It's not has been easy, guys, to even think differently. That is also a change. Think in the mind. The first thought, that no, I have to get out of this employee mindset and do something different. Become something else. And an entrepreneurship. When I thought of that, okay, let me become an entrepreneur. Why not? And I'm blessed by so many, beautiful people in my life today, and my mentors has been so beautiful, working hard on this one thing, this one thing, working hard on it, that how much difficult it is to change, even a little thought of from, a mindset of me to a mindset of something different. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of discipline. I could realize a lot of time importance. Today, time has become such a big important factor. In the pandemic, people started realizing somehow, that time is not recyclable. Time is not unlimitless. Time is very limited for the human being, and within that time, whatever I can do will actually give the outcome of the next generation. And that thought process came into me slowly. That's been very difficult. Even when I, went into, felt with that, I'll discuss in my later part what I went into, which industries I went into, how you should look into entrepreneurship. What are the pointers, you should look into, because there are a lot of things today, a lot of entrepreneurship, a lot of, startups happening, a lot of technology oriented entrepreneurship. But it is very important to look at what you want to start, because the goal where you have to reach will actually decide that what kind of entrepreneurship. Because there is traditional businesses, today a lot of traditional businesses are there, which can be also good, but is it long term? Is it sustainable? And is it also can be passed to the next generation? Because when I see some of my traditional business friends, I then they when they actually used to speak out that no, I don't want to give pass it on to my next generation, and I used to say why. Why you are not going to give your business to the next generation? He said it's very difficult. They cannot do that because it's hard work. The biggest problem on those businesses are, when I used to hear from my friends, is collecting the outstanding amounts from the vendors or from the customers, and that what actually, is, kills traditional businesses. There's so much of working in capital investment, so much of, initial investments, also so much of running around, and that's also is like, for me, what I felt, it's nothing much different like a job, wherein I have to go, I have to run for it, and more difficult than a job, even because in that, even the person cannot get a holiday, cannot go out somewhere, cannot have fun with the family, because constantly is burdened with what I'm going to have next day, how much money will come next day, you know, whether my outstandings would get cleared, the loans would get cleared, and all the profit and losses coming to me. So nobody is to look into it. And if something happens, then what happens to my family? What happens to me? So this is a panic. This is kind of, and I thought I cannot do that. It's not meant for me. I have no experience. I have never done any kind of entrepreneurship, and it's a word which is very hard to hear. So somebody needs to guide me. And I don't know to get into something which will, I actually, term, kill me more than the job, that I cannot get any time, because I wanted to have my life back. After so many years of hard work, I didn't see my life back, because it was always consuming me, almost 24/7, slowly. And I am just, into their vision only, and not into my vision. So somebody actually, hammered me out that what is my vision? What do I want to do? What is that most important thing in life that I want to die for and to fight for? And when this came in, and that was when I started thinking, and that change, is difficult to happen, but I started doing it. And the most difficult things, if I do it, then it becomes more easy, and actually that gives the growth. So guys, it is very important to know, what you are getting into, and the mindset change which has to happen. And that is the most important thing, the mindset change. Because if that happens properly, then the rest is easy to get. Because if I work as an employee on my business, then it will be difficult to growth. It will be short term money, but there will be no growth, because the mindset is, again, I'm working for myself only. Because one biggest realization happened, that if I have to become in the right quadrant of 3%, then I have to totally shift to others. Others' interests is more important to me than mine. So, guys, this has been my journey realization. I'll In the next episode, you're going to hear what made me shift into this journey, and what I've got till date and in my life. So for today, thanks everybody. It has been great pleasure. Have a rocking day. Entire day is there. You can utilize it. So bye bye. See you again.